Good afternoon. It is March 17th, 2025, St. Patrick's Day. And happy St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick was an Orthodox Christian saint back when the West and East churches were one. I have some news stories to share with you today. Just going to talk about it. I'm not going to be showing videos at this time. I'm just going to tell you about the things I've been following. And because it's been a while since I put out a video. So I'm going to start with there's some civil war-ish type of things, it feels like to me, that's been going on regarding the attacks, of course, as you've probably heard, because it's been going on for 2 to 3 weeks. The attacks on the Tesla vehicles and dealerships and charging stations. Some people are so upset over Elon Musk that they are doing insane things. It's one thing to have free speech and to protest peacefully. If you're burning down and bombing basically and acting like terrorists, then of course that's not a protected right. So that was shocking. I did hear a clip from Elon talking to Joe Rogan on his last time he was on his program. He had said that he's getting a lot of death threats and that people wanted to kill him, and he went so far as to say, yes, they don't only want to kill me, but they want to desecrate my corpse. That is like really sick. I'm not a huge fan of, as I've said several times, I'm not a big Elon fan. I'm indifferent, as I said. If he does something decent, that's great. If he doesn't, well, then, I say that he doesn't, I don't have a strong feeling about him. It's not like, and in any case, same with President Trump to a certain extent, although I liked Trump a little bit more, but there's a lot of things he's doing I don't like the if there's anything to do with cutting out of free speech, I don't agree with that. I'm going to go over some things that are going on right now. So what I heard today, then I'll go backwards on other stuff that's going on as well. I mean, what I heard today most recently, and then there's other things going on at the same time. So President Trump announced, a few hours ago, that he's going to release, I believe, the Director of Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, is supposed to release the documents, the JFK documents tomorrow, 80,000 of them. And he says that they won't be redacted. Supposed to happen tomorrow. Supposed to be unredacted. My answer to that is, we'll see. We'll see. I'm not sold. I'm not thinking this is really going to happen. But if it does, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow. But that's what he said today. The other story that's circulating that's a pretty big deal is the auto pen story. If you've been following that, that's basically that Biden's signature is an auto pen was used for his signature. Now, it's not that the auto pen has never been used. Apparently, it was used by other presidents, such as President Obama, when he was out of town and he couldn't get to sign it because he was in Europe, away, and he couldn't sign a certain bill or whatever, and so he, it was auto-signed. The core of this issue is, first off, we don't have 100, as far as I know, we don't have 100% evidence that, because, let me start with, President Trump came out and said that those pardons that President Biden had done was not with his permission or knowledge, that his cognitive handicap didn't allow him to be aware of what he was signing. As you know, we knew that because we do know that was true because we've seen him declining over the years, but we also know it because as I had put out that video a few weeks back, that Representative Johnson, Speaker Johnson, had said that when he had spoken to Biden, he had said, why did you not pass this LNP, the liquid natural gas thing, and Biden didn't know what he was talking about, and then it turned out he thought it was a study. I mean, that's what's going on, is this Biden just doesn't, he doesn't know what's going on. So I really think it's quite plausible that he didn't know what he was signing in the last year or two, or even, I don't know, probably the last couple of years. That seems to me when the decline was more evident. So that only evidence I've seen is that because of what Speaker Johnson said, and just seeing how President Biden has been the past year or two. So basically, President Trump is saying that those pardons that President Trump did before he left office were void, vacant. They don't count, basically, because he wasn't of cognitive mind. He wasn't of sane mind and body, as they say. And so, with that knowledge, according to what he's going by, they are looking into prosecuting those preemptive pardons that somebody else may have signed. That's what they're saying. If this comes out and there's more evidence to this, I would say they probably have to do a little bit of that. But if so, then he's looking at prosecuting Dr. Fauci, the J6 committee, of course, and another thing, probably those having to do with Russiagate or something. I can't remember the last one he mentioned, or somebody had listed, but these people are going to be looked at for sure. Which means Adam Schiff and Liz Cheney and what was that guy's name? The committee there, the J6 committee. I don't know all of the people. I can't remember the names, but you know who they are. So we will see what happens on that. I'm not against the prosecuting of these people because they've been doing horribly criminal, in my opinion, un-American actions for quite a while. That's just my opinion. Then we're going to go to this other piece on President Trump decided he was going to bomb the Houthis in Yemen. And, I thought to myself, this is not good. It reminds me of when Saudi Arabia was bombing Yemen all those months and who knows how long, I can't remember. But last time Trump was in office, this was going on and it was terrible. And I remember discussing that with my sister and talking with people about how terrible it was. Civilians were being bombed and it was terrible. Well, the Saudis did not beat the Yemenis. They did not beat the Houthis. But Trump is he does, you know, he's upset because the Houthis are attacking the ships in the Red Sea. Well, nobody apparently has told him why. I mean, he didn't ask why they're doing this. Why are they doing that? You know, that's my. I mean, nobody's asking why are the Houthis doing that. We all know why. If we actually, I sent you that, or I did that video for you that talked about the Ansalar. I'm trying to pronounce that, but one of the Houthi officials that Max Blumenthal talked to. I put a video out a couple weeks back with Max Blumenthal, the independent award-winning journalist that was interviewing the Houthi official. And people need to understand that the Houthis are against the genocide that the Israelis committing genocide against the Palestinians in Gaza. So the whole time that was going on, the Houthis were disrupting the Red Sea of shipments coming in, especially Israeli ships that were filled with weapons and things that were going to continuing the genocide, the murders, the mass killings. And so they were trying to disrupt that. And I thought, well, that was really brave of them. That's really a good move. And, you know, Ray McGovern, in a video interview today with he and Danny Houthis was doing the video, the interview. And he and Ray McGovern, you know, the former CIA analyst, he was there with Larry Johnson, as you know, the other former CIA analyst, and another person. And Ray McGovern said he agreed with what the Houthis were doing. He supported it. He thought it was a good move. And it was. It's a good strategic move, a strategy in trying to help the Palestinians. Because let's remember, without the Houthis, without Hamas, the Palestinians would all be dead. They would all be, I mean, not dead. They would have been just, you know, I'm just saying they don't have any defense. They don't have any defense. They don't have an army. So the Houthis are doing something and, you know, as been noted, there's other Arabs around there that could have been helping. And, you know, a lot of them don't seem to have a backbone, or that they're under the thumb of the U.S., so they don't want to do anything. But in any case, Trump doesn't even understand why they're doing it, you know. He didn't bother to ask. He just thinks they're terrorists. They're, you know, they're terrible. They're doing these, they're blowing up people's ships. And the blindness of Trump and other politicians in our government, except for maybe one or two, I don't even know if that's true. They don't look at they never introspect to look at what we've been doing to the Middle East for decades. According to Larry Johnson, this stuff has been going on 60 years. And so there's Trump bombing Yemen. The Houthis, we're going to keep doing that if you keep doing that. Well, the Houthis aren't going to stop. They already said what they were going to do. Now, they did stop during the ceasefire. They were fine doing that. But the IDF has not pulled out of certain corridors that they were supposed to have done. And so the Houthis said, well, we're not going to do that. We're going to go back to doing what we were doing in the Red Sea. And, of course, Trump is saying, oh, you got to stop doing that. And if he said, basically, he's saying Iran has to stop giving the weapons, supplying the weapons to the Houthis, and to stop this. And it's warning against, you know, Iran doing that, which is just being a subservient to Netanyahu, who is a monster, in my opinion, a terrible, terrible man. And so he's doing the bidding of, he's doing exactly what Netanyahu wants, a war in the Middle East, because, Iran's not going to stop supplying the weapons. People could turn around, as I've heard people say today, such as Larry Johnson and others. Why don't we stop arming Israel? Because Trump's national security advisor was saying, well, you're supplying the weapons, so you're just as complicit. Well, then we're just as complicit in supplying weapons that have been a mass murdering of the Palestinians by the Israeli Defense Force. So there's that issue. It's not good, but it tends to be going on with, it seems to be lining up with the prophecies that I've told you about. And, what I've been seeing going on with Syria just reminds me of what I saw, what I heard and saw Metropolitan Neophytus say back in November. He was talking about a story of a saint, I think it was, and there was a pious person asking a saint question or whatever, because there was this bloody sword that he pulled out, and the person asked, what is that? And he said, it's Syria. So, 7,000 as of a couple days ago, according to a Greek MEP, 7,000 have already died within 2 weeks, or maybe a week. I think it was a week. Last week or so. 7,000 Christians and Alawites in Syria. And I will remind you, this was not happening under Assad. So no matter how much some people might think Assad was this dictator and horrible, the minorities in Syria were protected. And so this just reminds me of what's going on. As the prophecies have said, it starts, the war, World War III starts in Syria and then goes on from there. And let's not forget, they talk about that the Israel will attack, bomb Iran's nuclear facility. So you have the Syria thing, you have the nuclear facility that's going to be hit. And let me just explain that World War III that's coming, which we've heard about for centuries through our saints, and more recent saints, decades. And it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And I continue to pray, and I hope you are. We should always be praying to God that He will lessen the carnage. But I don't know if that's going to happen, because we're doing things again that are sinful, that are not right, that are just going to add to the carnage, because we're not repenting, we're not trying. I thought, okay, He's making peace, and that's one part, and He's doing the right thing with regards to saving children from being chopped up and all that, with the transgender issue and all this, and there are two sexes and all that. That's God's law. It's what God created, man and woman and all that. And I thought, okay, He's restoring what should be what God put forth. But now he's trying to drop one war and to do another one. Now I read somewhere that it was well, we're doing that because the Thomas Massey said, we have to feed them military-industrial complex. So we end one war and we go into another one. I don't know. I just feel like he's fallen for the Israeli agenda, and it's not good. So we have to keep, but we need to nevertheless keep asking for God's mercy and to lessen the catastrophe, the carnage, and all that's going to happen in World War III, which happens in phases. The Syria, then as we said, the Israel attacking Iran's nuclear facility, a break there, and then eventually the one in the middle of Constantinople, which is now Istanbul, where everybody comes. So basically in that Middle East area, it's going to be a mess. So we just pray, we don't want to, because these actions are making it faster going toward this world war, and I don't think any of us really want it to hasten our time to that point where millions are going to die. It's not a good thing. So we pray that it's lessened, and it's that we have some time before that, push it back so it's not happening so soon. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. And let's remember what Metropolitan Houthis said the other day, is that there are no solutions that are going to happen right now. Not until the war. He basically just said the war will resolve it. Any of our situations that we're having that we're concerned about politically, socially, even he said ecclesiastically, because for us Orthodox, we're supposed to get a new crew of hierarchs and clergy that will bring in the better spiritual part of orthodoxy and the spreading of the gospel in the world after the world war. But right now, let's just pray that that war does not come soon, and that any little thing that can change it and to make it less, our prayers can do that. Our prayers can do that. We can't get rid of the war because all saints agree there's going to be a world war, the Third World War. But we can work to lessen it with our prayers. So I think I've babbled on long enough. Hopefully I haven't bored you to tears. And if you made it through this video, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Please share your thoughts if you'd like at the end of this video, at the bottom of this video. Please follow my channel, like my videos if you like them. Share my channel, share my videos. And as you know, I'm going through we're in Great Lent right now, and so I only do usually a couple videos a week for right now. And thank you so much for watching and for your support. Until next time.